You believe we're on the brink of a new age?
You couldn't have chosen a more unfair question from my point of view, because I don't believe in trying to project from what I know. Partly because what happens is always novel, and hence what I know is no help. I can say what I'd like to happen.
Okay.
And that would be, well, people talk about the Aquarian age, and they don't really know what Aquarius is, and they wouldn't welcome it so much as they did. But it's essentially not, it's the opposite of Leo. Being is Leo. And centrifugal, things thrown out. Fire, and there's you're fired, boom, out she goes. But the opposite of that is focus, coming back to a center, and it's the function of the intellect. And the Aquarian age would be primarily an intellectual age. But I would hope that it would be significance, not just computer-type intellect, but significance in the sense that significance is the fruit of intellect. But we'll get into that sometime when we're into astrology, because that, although I could do it here, the fixed signs are the fruit of the action that's in the active signs, the cardinal signs. And the fruit of thinking is significance. So, if the next age is to be one of Aquarius, then I would think things like the theory would be very important, because it's getting into the significance of things.
And yet it's an intellectual approach.
Right. It is fundamentally an intellectual approach, and an intellectual approach should include what's non-intellectual. I mean, a proper intellectual approach should leave room for that which is not intellectual. Now, the contrast that with the Piscean age, in which we have science. Well, we're having science right at the end of the Piscean age, but it's Piscean in that it's a belief system. It's not really trying to get to the significance of things. It's enforcing a credo on other, or spreading a credo. Now let's see, what are we talking about? The possible change of the age. Now, I have to recognize that the Aquarian age is not due for a couple of hundred years at least, because even if you go, see, it's based on the precession of the equinox. Precession of the equinox is something like 24,000 years, leaving at least 2,000 years for each of the 12 signs. And if you start from the birth of Christ, well, for the Piscean age, you wouldn't get to the beginning of the Aquarian age until 2000 AD. Now, actually, Christianity and the technical, astronomical coming into Pisces was about 600 AD. So that would put the Aquarian age still further, 2600 AD. Mm-hmm. But you could still say, well, there's some, because Pisces is merging with Aquarius, you're getting Aquarian factors, even though you haven't quite got into the Aquarian age.